Good morning all, this is RTSL 2021A versus MarcoDS78. RTSL 2021A, of course organised by our overlord, benevolent dictator, master and commander Fruitstrike. Thank you for organising. I am getting absolutely smashed, so relegation is pretty much a dead cert. So let's have some fun, shall we? Because that's what it should be about. It is a game after all. We're the Yankees. So let's go kick some communist butt. We could blockade away Warsaw Pact, but we may be better off just holding blockade through the next turn. Unfortunately, Purge is our only 4-op card. So I think we go Romanian Abdication, Warsaw Pact first, Romanian Abdication, Independent Reds. We can always event Independent Reds to make their life a little difficult. Looks like Captured Nazis the headline, therefore. The question is it worth 4-ops to Purge knowing that we usually only get one counter coup anyway, and we've got a 3-op card. I mean, Captured Nazis is probably the safe headline. Then we've got Purge and Pact for high ops. So we go 4-4-2, that's standard, and then let's get everything in the card tracker. CIA, Independent Reds, Captured Nazi, Poij, and Volsor. That's and Fidel. Yeah, I think we're going to be bland and boring and headline Captured Nazi and keep our ops for doing things. NASA suggests Middle East scoring, potentially. If they coup Italy, if they coup Iran, they could be going for the clear out. I'm going to go for influence instead. Nothing like keeping Defcon up. Yeah. Goes for instant domination. Okay, so we... What can we do here? We can get a coup off, I guess. The fear is that they try and realign Israel, I guess, which makes Egypt more attractive. So I think we coup Egypt here. Ah, how bland. So now they should coup on Iran. Or they may spend 3 ops going Egypt and Iraq. If they do, we don't have the ops to... Yeah, so I expect Egypt to Iraq. Oh no, goes for... Yeah. Well, they've repped the Middle East a lot more than they've repped Asia, so let's hope they don't have Asia scoring as well. Let's take another coup off. Oh, brilliant. uh, so now they'll play into Pakistan, because we've given them the chance. So we will move on Thailand. We'll do it with Romanian abdication, because we can always event independent Reds if we want. Not that we're gaining a ton of ops advantage doing that. I guess the important thing is by eventing Romanian abdication. Before D starts, well, that kind of sucks, but If they play into Pakistan, we get one more coup, of course. Just with, like, you know, decreasingly quality cards. If they do coup Iran, we'll go Lebanon, Malaysia with Fidel, I think. And then we're left with a miserable smattering of ops to finish the term. Coup Iran? No influence, okay. Presumably they have a war card then. So we will coup and hope they don't have a war card. 3! Oof. Yeah. So they're going to get Pakistan. Okay, Vietnam revolts for influence actually suits us reasonably well, because at least it means Thailand's not a given. So we sacrifice ourselves on the altar of Middle East domination. But we'll make sure Asia domination isn't a thing by the end of the turn. Insofar as we can. If they put another influence in, we can't. Arab-Israeli war? Or Indo-Pakistani war? Or Korean war? Or are we getting a couple of milops to boot? Which would be fine. Well, that struggle for the Middle East was not as eventful as it could have been. Oh, curses. That's real bad. This looks like a fairly good containment hand. And again, we hold blockade again. We're just going to do that. It's going to have to decide between the coup and France, unless he's holding duck and cover and wants to give up 3 VP. We can space Korean and possibly Arab-Israeli war if we don't get things lined up well. Thanks to containment, this hand is alright. We're definitely going to get our ops load. Of course, we can blockade away one of the cards, giving us 2 ops. Blockade away Korean War, space Arab-Israeli War, finish with Cambridge 5. So we'll get 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get 5 ops worth of bonus from containment. So unless they have duck and cover, they've got to choose between France and a coup. Let's see what we get. Here we go. D-Style, even better. So we'll probably go for a coup here now, because otherwise he's likely to be giving up. Unless again he's got duck and cover. We will see. Duck and cover solves him a lot of problems. Suggest he is going for Europe Dom. Oh, curses. Really called for it, didn't I? Okay, we can probably outrace him. Can we outrace him in both places? He definitely signaled more towards Europe, so I'm going with that. Keeping the 3 in Romania. If he's holding Asia scoring, we can't. Yeah, we couldn't do everything at once, unfortunately. But we can push over to Turkey. Hard to believe the scoreline's still at 0. In a way. Truman's not been yet, so we can try and jam at the end of turn. Hmm. Should be able to stay ahead of Europe here. Definitely staying ahead of Europe here. So we'll be shoring up Africa and South America and France. Yeah, fine. Okay, given up on Europe. Don't really need an extra one in Italy, do we? Still covered against socialist governments. Maybe we'll put one in Finland. That'll do. Okay, looks like I got the thing wrong, didn't I? So we will retake South Korea, noting we have Korean War, which will blockade. Precarious, still got to see US Japan. But if we see US Japan, oh, there's Europe scoring. Okay. So we'll space Arab-Israeli war. We'll blockade Korean War. We'll finish with Cambridge 5. Yeah, Formosa has to go. Fails, which is a bonus. We could flip Angola, forcing them to take Zaire. Not that it does a lot for us, I guess. I guess we finished the turn. I guess we finished the turn by tapping one of the Middle East countries to prevent domination over the turn. In which case, despite Formosa going, I guess the best thing to do is take Taiwan in advance of US-Japan, which is very bland. Not happy with that at all, really. And now we see Indo-Pakistani war, so the mill-ops are assured anyway. At least by playing Marshall, it makes NATO eventable. And special relationships still in the deck somewhere. Oh dear. Well, that solves the France problem, doesn't it? Blockade away Korean War. Tap Egypt. Okay. Fairly tragic there. US, Japan, and NATO and UN intervention, which does mean they have Indo-Pakistani war. Comecon Suez de Gaulle. And special relationship. Comecon Indo-Pac, special relationship, Suez de Gaulle. Suez isn't bad here, but we won't lose access. For us, Formosa probably best. Formosa's good, right? We've got... That would give us instant domination in Asia. With US Japan to back it up. Obviously, we can space decol and hold UNI potentially. The other option is Purge, because we've got a surfeit of ops, and we could always event Formosa later in the turn. I think I like Purge. I like to be greedy when we're behind, which we are. Let's Purge. SocGov, not great for us. Especially when they're holding Europe scoring in the headline. But that means we get a coup off, and that might make all the difference. Not when you roll ones. Brilliant. Complete garbage. And they've got Indo-Pakistani war, so we're not even going to get mill-ops out of the thing. Oh, man. I blame Fruit Strike. He's in charge of this league, and it's been nothing but garbage since he took it on. Shaq's clearly a better leader. Okay, well, that probably condemns us now, because we have absolutely no access to South America. We're behind in Africa. Yeah. I'm going to event Formosa. We are, like, just so comically far behind now. So we're going to take Panama and Mexico by the end of the turn. No, mate. Not that you'd need to, either. You do know now, of course, that I don't have Asia scoring. So, you know, that's well played. We'll take Iraq to level up there. So we know his exact hand now. Indo-Pakistani War, Special Relationships, Suez and de Gaulle. So yeah, we'll space decol. Hold you an intervention. We could always 5-year plan away Indo-Pakistani War if it gets down to it. Although it would only be 50-50, wouldn't we? 4, 5, 6. Eventing 5-year plan probably isn't up to much. Of course, having seen US-Japan go, he could take Japan with the China card. That seems like a lot of work. So we'll take Saudi. We'll leave ourselves space to take Japan. So they've got Indo-Pakistani War to finish. We know that much. So we'll take Japan. Knowing that we'll take domination into mid-war. So we'll space decol to finish. Try and hit that 2VP square. Success. So, not great. Well, we got Muslim Revolution at least, and Hunter. Oof. The mid-war gods are spoiling us after very meager rations from the early war gods. Summit and Camp David. Hunter's the headline here. Every time. We'll go 2 into Argentina, coup Brazil to be greedy. We're going to need some serious reversals, and fairly quickly. So we need to get U2 incident off before UN intervention, after UN intervention, right? Yeah. So UNI Muslim, then U2, Culture Revolution before they pass the China card. We're okay for ops. And by eventing blockade in the early war, I can't screw that up, so that's something. Uh, lots of thinking. Lots of thinking. What do we got? Oh, ABM. Okay. Well, Iran seems likeliest, or Thailand. But he may do influence to keep Defcon up after I Hunter. Or put 4 into West Germany, I guess. Plenty of options. Europe scored though, so Thailand seems likeliest. Thailand or Iran. Maybe Panama. They're all viable. Don't see a Kirby on a space this turn either. So it's good we got ahead. Yeah, Thailand's best, I think, because it flips domination. Hmm. Yeah, Thailand's really bad for us. Thinking, thinking. Don't see a better option. No, does go for the influence instead. Okay, well that's good because it now means they can't do stuff with. So let's put in Venezuela and coup. We get a coup off. So, guessing this means they have South America scoring and they're going to look to counter coup straight away. So we need to survive the counter coup. Please, 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 please. Yes, we do. There we go. Mid-war gods, like me. You really, really like me. Africa's a disaster zone, but we can jam Brazil to start. Do we like that? Yeah, let's make their life difficult and mean they're not getting up to stuff elsewhere on the board. Because if we can keep Southeast Asia, Asia, and the Middle East on our side, that's something. So we jam there. Now we can use U2 Incident without giving away an extra bonus point. They have to use a 3-op card to reassert Brazil, which means they then can't also take domination in South America in the turn. And we can just keep pecking, I guess. Although we're giving up a VP at a time. The situation remains dire, but I guess it only takes Asia, Middle East, Southeast Asia to score to make things look a little more sympathetic. Marco's almost certainly got some 3-op cards, right? There's plenty in the mid-war deck. Yusuri's fine in a way, because you'll get the China card back. NORAD's fine. Shuttle Diplomacy's not going to make a lot of difference. Che, Brezhnev. Sokgov went beginning of turn 3, didn't it? Yeah, I guess he's not tracking cards properly. 18 discarded, 11 removed. Yeah, back up to speed. Quagmire, OPEC, Cuban Missile Crisis, Arms Race, Brush War. Yeah, loads of 3-op cards. If I was them, I'd retake Brazil. Because we can't do another 4-op crack. Only Flower Power and Wheelberry left there. But we have got a heck of a lot to do. Trying to reassert here is going to be tricky. Arsenal. Okay, change attack. That's kind of giving us South America. So we are going to ditch Summit, U2, and Cult Rev. As sad as it is not to use Cult Rev and get it out the deck, we're better off getting neutral or better cards. Okay, Central America scoring is useful to know about. So Arsenal is gone. We discard Cultural U2 Summit, and we pick up Central, Panama, and Nixon. So, we'll go Brazil and Mexico. Yep. We can event Panama Canal returned and set up a play into Guatemala and Nicaragua for Central America domination. That might work. And steal the China card with Nixon, which makes US Usuri River Skirmish less appealing for them. Event Panama, one into Nicaragua, one into Guatemala with independent Reds. Even if they coup Nicaragua, we will win on battlegrounds and can take Central America for domination, and we get a coup target to finish the turn in Nicaragua. So giving up Africa controls all we need to really worry about. And that is cause for concern, clearly. But we've got plenty of other problems on the board. We've got solutions in the east. It's not all problems. Maybe the trick was blaming Fruit Strike in the early war. I noticed since I've been throwing shade, things have improved. Africa scoring. Well, good for them. Not going to get a much better score off. 4 will do. We'll event Panama Canal return to overprotect Venezuela. And next up is Guatemala and Nicaragua. Excellent. So now we get a coup target instead. So we get our Millops. And they're going to have to counter coup. So we get to put one in France. Please miss. Oh, I didn't miss. Did alright. So we'll use Nixon. Camp David's still quite attractive in the Middle East. Now that just makes it 3-3, doesn't it? So we are better off cooing. Once they coup, they'd make it 3-3. So we'll coup Haiti. Nice big coup. They'll play one into Nicaragua to level up, but that does mean we get to claim domination. If they don't play into Nicaragua, we can go for the greedy +1 realign and try and score presenceless domination. Okay, so we take Nigeria, Burma, and Peru for access the other side. Because we didn't want to give Nicaragua for a coup target. So one in Nicaragua. Sensible. Right, okay, so we take Central America for domination only. 2 measly VP. Let's hope those 2 VP are the difference. And we'll event camp David to bag another VP. And prepare for Sadat. Well, Sadat does the job anyway. Maybe we don't event camp David. Maybe we take Burma and the Philippines for Southeast Asia scoring instead. Oh, Willie's not removed. My bad. Willie is discarded. 29-14. Yeah, 29-14. Good. Didn't mess up. Right. So, yeah, I think we maintain Asia domination and make Southeast Asia scoring more attractive instead. Okay. Oi. Voice of America is very nice for us. We sadly don't have... Let's plug everything in before I decide what I'm doing. Ooh, that's a lot of scoring cards. Southeast Asia, at least they're all favourable. Che and Salt. Voice, Learn, Quag. So we can space Quag. We can use just about everything else for ops, although of course Che will give up plenty of potential. First of all, what can they do in the headline phase to cause trouble? Brush War. They're unlikely to flip Thailand with Brush War. Liberation Theology, Korean War's unlikely to. Vietnam Revolts makes it 7-7, but is he going to headline Vietnam Revolts? Makes it 8-7 actually. Okay, so Vietnam Revolts doesn't affect Asia. Only Brush War does, and that's only on a 5 or 6. And again, doesn't dominate. So I think Asia scoring might be the best play here. The Brush War in Iran's a little easier. And I don't think we have something else in the headline we want to crack off, right? We want to see what happens before we use VOA. We could use How I Learned to drop DEFCON to 2. But again, there's not a ton of mileage in that. I'm going to gamble on playing a scoring card in the headline phase. Let's see how badly it can go. Which one? Southeast Asia scoring? We've got Voice of America. Let's go Asia scoring. No Brush War. Okay, just an ops surge. So they're going to get a coup off, and it's probably going to be Brazil or Venezuela. Oh, see, I was thinking about dropping DEFCON because they had CIA, but Good way to get it out the deck. At least we've got perfect information. OAS. Emit. Flower Power. Lads. Vietnam. NORAD. Bear Trap. Okay. We'll take perfect information, even if reluctantly it means we don't get the benefit of a DEFCON suicide risk. And once again, the coup leaves a little bit to be desired. They're of course going to get 2 ops to use that because of the Brezhnev boost. Okay, now is the time to use Voice of America to clean them out of that part of Africa, knowing they don't hold another way to get back in. And Indonesia, of course, yeah. So South Africa unrest still to emerge. But obviously that does alright for us just now. A good flip. So we end up neutralizing there. Cool, that's all good. Are they going to try jamming Thailand? Or Burma? Seems unproductive. Seems like there's better use of ops elsewhere. Self-trapping. So how greedy do we be here? Do we salt, purge, and or salt VOA? I don't think we do. Not sure we have a lot to gain here. We just yeah, we'll drop our scoring cards. Sad to see a self-trap go. So OAS into the trap. But the setup was a little long. I think we'll hold how I learned, drop DEFCON and protect South America next turn. So rest of turn is Space Quagmire, Space Che. Southeast Asia scoring. Could salt something and then drop DEFCON in the headline. That might be fun. Salt ABM. Use how I learned to drop DEFCON in the headline. Emit's gone. Okay, maybe he forgot he's under Brezhnev because OAS is clearly the play there. Yep, up to date. I'm not going to talk to my opponent about them being under Brezhnev during the game. I'll let them make their own mistakes. I've got plenty to make my side of the board. So, thanks to a fairly decent run of scoring cards, things don't look so bad. Things are no longer quite as rotten in the state of Denmark. I guess the issue with space, unless we don't see We Will Bury You, which we haven't. So the issue with space, finish, salt, take ABM, then use How I Learned at the headline to drop Defcon is they could missile MV us for ABM. But there's a chance we get dealt We Will Bury You, so they can only missile MV us if they're holding exactly We Will Bury You and missile MV. If they're not, if they missile MV us and we've got We Will Bury You, we drop Defcon with How I Learned and then kill them with We Will Bury You. Okay, sure enough. So so they're looking to flip Nigeria, obviously. Africa's scored. We can probably let them, knowing that we're going to pull ABM anyway. So let's space Quagmire. Space J. Event Salt, Steal ABM. How I Learned, drop to 2. What do we like here? Yep. A fairly bland overprotect. Keep the country count up. Maybe they were happier getting out of the deck than putting it back into the deck via Bear Trap. I'm not sure I would have done the same. So they're getting a coup off. We'll still space Che. Man, that's really annoying. Both of them failing. Because obviously headline peaking would have been fantastic with ABMing, salting ABM and so on. So we really got screwed there by the space tracker, but there we go. Lads. NORAD is the hold card. Where does lads go? Flip Nigeria, fine. But we'll salt ABM. Giving up a VP in the process, but getting a card that's way more powerful. Come on, We Will Bury You. Yeah, but we got Missile Envy as well. Boo! So that whole gambit fails anyway. Salt's gone. ABM's back in hand. Gunman. JP. Kuba. One small step. And the OG. So, pros to keeping Defcon high. Can get rid of Lone Gunman. So I guess Missile Envy is not shabby here. We know we can't run the risk of Defcon Suicide. It forces them to use Missile Envy for a crappy AR1. We could pull Brush War if we're exceptionally lucky. Or Yasuri. Duck and Cover's not great. But Missile Envy is fun, right? Dropping Defcon to 2 is kind of boring. Let's Missile Envy. Come on. With no headline peaking, it's a fun headline. Of course, we could just be given NORAD. Too late now. But even if we're given NORAD, we're gaining an ops advantage and we're forcing them to have a crummy coup AR1, which works great for us in South America and will allow us to dispose of lone gunmen. And all they're going to see is we have a ridiculously powerful hand. I think I still like Mr. Envy even if we get handed NORAD over lone gunman in the headline. Kind of crappy. Dropping Defcon to 2 when we've got 2 Defcon droppers in our own hand. Also crappy. Going for Korean War. You will give us NORAD, I'm fairly sure. Over OPEC. Brush War and Arms Race. Yasuri, Shuttle and Duck and Cover. Oh no, it gives us Duck and Cover. Okay. Miss. Great. Coup for 3. And then we can use Lone Gunman. We're going to give up Milops, but we have a... We can coup Nigeria if they don't coup Nigeria. And obviously we've got ABM Treaty to redress the balance there if we need to. We do, of course, need to shore up West Germany and Turkey, and then we can use John Paul to try and sort out Europe. Africa's a disaster zone. The rest of the world's starting to look a bit more favourable, shall we say. So I expect a coup on Nigeria here to deny us a battleground coup. We'll still coup Saharan states or Nicaragua to get Milops. But that does mean South America will drop for 0, which works for us. And we've got ABM Treaty as a tool in our arsenal. Again, probably no space, so we can hold We Will Bury You through the turn and make use of it if we want to. Or we could space it and keep How I Learned. So we'll wait and see how the turn pans out. We want to avenge John Paul. Use the rest for ops. Failed on the Iran coup. Okay. Right, what's the best use of an op? We'll coup Nicaragua. Ready to set up realigns. So they pretty much have to counter coup here. We sadly don't have a ton of other realign targets. Thinking hard. Whoa, power punch in Asia coming. Oh yes, of course, no. We get the China card. That's fine. So I guess, what's the appealing option? ABM Treaty Zaire? We can ABM Treaty Zaire eventually, I guess. For now, we'll take South Africa and West Germany. In anticipation of cooing Zaire and setting up rear lines on Angola. That's not ideal because Botswana's still a problem. Oh, blah. What are the odds on the clean coup of Angola? A third of the time it ends in disaster. And South Africa unrest is still in the deck. And we don't know if they hold it. So... taking Israel's not such a big deal when Sadat's still in the deck. Asia's still in our favour. Africa needs dealing with. But I guess for now, we will resettle Europe. With brush war unseen, I suppose we take Greece, don't we? And we can take Turkey as well to keep battleground count high. How bland. But that shores up against brush war. Thailand's currently 50-50, which is not positive. Italy's 1 in 3. Yeah, here we go. Brush war is a bad card for us. We get lucky. And that also indicates that they've got South America scoring. So the question is, do we go for a greedy coup on Argentina to put them under pressure there? I'm not convinced we do. I think now we ABM treaty just in case they have arms race. And we'll coup on Zaire to be on the safe side. Bit boring. Now we want to try and press on Botswana and South Africa to get some rear lines going, I guess. South America scoring is indeed the next card off the top. One small step to South Africa and West Germany next. Yeah, good. So that's great for us. Oh, but that's a huge coup. So I think now... yeah. Bit bland. They'll be able to take Botswana. Which is problematic for South Africa, actually. Yeesh. CRG to space. Fails and gives us a great shot at realigning Angola. One more. Oh, boom. That's how you do it. That's not good. So we use John Paul to address the balance. And shuffle time. We got grain. Not you. I did. So they got shuttle diplomacy, defectors, and kitchen debates. And a measly 1 point OPEC. Arab-Israeli war's still in play for them. And of course, South African unrest. Nuclear test ban, Indo-Pakistani war, special relationship. Omits. Oh, we got Arab-Israeli war, that's fine. So, they are holding NORAD, 1 point OPEC, shuttle dip, which doesn't help them, defectors, South Africa unrest, which does help them, and kitchen debates, which can't help them much. I think we're slightly ahead. +1, +3, -1, even. Yeah, we're ahead. Think grain sales has to be the headline, as per. And it will allow us to coup on Nigeria, even if they headline South Africa unrest. And we may choose to hold a mitt through the turn to get the worst of the late war cards out. Yep, so unfortunately South African unrest triggers after kitchen debates, after grain sales. No, we'll get the coup off because then we can also have arms race in our favour. A bit lame. Although I guess we want to retake Panama as well, really. That's a shame. So now they have to decide between coupping Colombia and getting realigned out of every direction. That works for me. Colombia? Yep. Do we use... I'm sorry, for... Man. 2 realigns on Angola and South Africa is not a lot. It's part of the problem. It's 3 VP now, 4. Potentially getting screwed. Do we take Botswana now? I probably should have decided what I was doing before I made my last move. So realign on Angola needs to also realign out of South Africa is the problem. And that's only at +1. So relines aren't really great after all. Alright, what we're going to do is take Botswana, because that forces a reaction in Africa. And that kind of takes arms race out of our hands. No 6, please. Splendid. Yep. So 3 of their 4 cards are NORAD, Shuttle Diplomacy, and Kitchen Baits. Debates. Dirt baits. Yeah, we can flip it back. They can use NORAD to do it again, but I'm not sure it suits them greatly to do that. Coup instead. We'll allow it. We'll use Allende to shore up Nigeria. I think we might hold We Will Bury You now. Although, that means eventing a MIT before late war. NORAD to space. They get there. Yeah, we'll space We Will Bury You. Great, we get to peak. That's a bonus. Oof. Nasty. Thank goodness for grain sales. So, let's put one in Angola. And keep country count up in Africa as well. Split difficulties. Yeah, overprotect. Do we go into Pakistani war here? For greed? Let's be greedy. It fails. That's a shame. Greed's always fun though. Didn't get war games, not near the thing anyway. Didn't get a great hand, but France has already lost. And we're going to get to headline peak. So I think we're definitely emitting here. And we're very likely dropping DEFCON to 2. Yeah. So we'll drop DEFCON to 2 to protect Mexico. They should lose emit from this. Rather than US-Japan. We'll see whether they're seduced by ops. Emit's worth far more in late war than 4 clean ops. But at the moment, I just have to hold out. I'm definitely ahead here. So it's a case of seeing it through. CIA's got, lone gunman's gone, and I'm not in Cuba, so Ortega's not a problem. So really, it does just boil down to no massive cock-ups and see it through. If India had flipped, we could have used the China card. As it stands, we might choose to use decol as a safer option. I wanted 5-year plan out. Worried about DEFCON suicide. Okay. I'm not likely to use 5-year plan in late war because you're just as likely to pull Cal. So we'll get prepared to use decol in anger, which means shoring up some of our regional influence. So basically, ABM and brush war and stuff are the things that could swing the game massively. Like South America control is still very possible from here, and a brush on Mexico gives Central America control. So there are ways that it can come unraveled very quickly. There will be spacing Iranian hostage crisis. Definitely. We may reluctantly event De Gaulle because we don't have a lot to gain there. Starting with UN. Ditching Star Wars. Very wise. Coup in Cameroon to set up rear lines. So we'll just put in Cote d'Ivoire. Oh no, we need 3 because we also want to put into Zaire. So they've gained an ops advantage there. But we're still in a strong position to flip Angola if we need to. Ortega's gone. Zimbabwe's a good one, so now's the time to flip Angola. It's still making all of these rear lines neutral for now. If we space Iranian hostage crisis and use De Gaulle, we don't need to worry about Latin American debt crisis because we can cover Brazil. Europe's gone. Fine. Not dominated. Also good. So I think we punt Iranian hostage crisis into space now. And I think now we try spacing De Gaulle because we really want those 3 VP. We're greedy. And there's still time before tear down this wall for us to do something horrible to Algeria and then France. Come on, NASA. Get your together. We're definitely eventing a MIP. Neither of those matter greatly. So we'll event a MIP now. We want Asia scoring. We don't want Willy Brandt. We don't want Red Scare Purge because it's just as likely to hurt us as them. Reagan Bomb Slip is worth a VP, so we'll keep it in the deck. So that's fine. Omit, Ditching, Purge, and Willy. We're going to coup Haiti and then event and repair to the best of our abilities decol. Good not to get quogged. Always like that. That's a huge coup for them. So now we coup Sahara States instead of Haiti. Okay, so we have to resolve decol first. Jamming Indonesia, Malaysia might be better than doing something in Africa, frankly, with overprotection the way it is, and we need to pop one in Iran. So they could try and wrest Asia domination from us, although of course shuttle diplomacy is in play as well at the moment. This is one of those occasions where decol is not as heinous as it normally is. Okay, so they overjam Africa instead. We've got 4 battlegrounds, so I can live with that, keeping Asia Dom. So we overprotect Nigeria. Okay, that's fine. Turn 9. Middle East scoring is good for us. War games is good for us. Brush war is good for us. Tear down this wall is good for us. We are headline peaking, which is good for us. So this is good for us. Deck Crisis, War Games, Glasnost, Brush, Chernobyl, Tear. One small step, Middle East. And Libya. So, Middle East in the headline and War Games if they coup. Game over. Well, we got a win. It's not going to save me from the league, but we'll take all the wins we can get. Well, thank you for watching. Feedback is always welcome. I'm sure I put plenty of feet wrong, but it's nice to win a game of Twilight Struggle after a fairly long fallow period. So well done for sticking with it. No game scheduled, but I'm off on holiday the week after next, so we'll probably get some games going. There's a UK league being organised as well. So as well as finishing RTSL 2021A and the playoffs for ITSL, we've got the UK league as well, just for good measure. So thank you for watching, and until next time.